Today we are going to tackle this lab. Today we are going to tackle this lab 4. First of all, I take this opportunity to welcome you to NetLabs Hub, where we tackle problems, we do labs, providing real solution in networking engineering. So this is lab 4. Let's proceed. Crystal Hotel is a fast growing hotel with almost 1,000 customers daily. The hotel deals in buying and selling food items, providing other after-sales services to its customers, which are basically operated from the headquarters. It is intending of opening a branch near a local city in Kenya. Thus, the hotel requires a young network engineer to design the network for the branch. The network is intended to operate separately from the headquarters. Being a small network, the company has the following requirements during implementation: 2 routers and 529 Cisco Catalyst switches to be used, 5 departments, that is administration, finance, security, transport, sales and marketing. Departments with one special network connecting to serial link routers between the subnets that are between two routers shall be connected through the serial links. Each department is required to be in different VLAN. When you hear about VLAN in networks, it means that it's a separate logical network. And the importance of VLAN in network, it helps in reducing congestion, enhancing security, and improving performance. You can read about it, how it achieves such functionalities. Each department is required to have a wireless network for customers obtaining indoor services. Use wireless security protocols to secure wireless clients from attacks. You will see the wireless protocols I will use to secure that during the implementation of this project. Devices in all departments are required to communicate. Communication, it should be irrespective of the subnet. All subnets should communicate. That's what they mean by this rule. Assign the first subnet to administration department, second subnet to sales department, and third subnet to finance, fourth subnet to security, and the fifth to transport and marketing. The sixth subnet should be used to link two serialized routers to all networks. Secure the remaining switch ports after assigning some to different VLANs. Configure the Inter-VLAN routing using router on stick. Inter-VLAN routing is achieved through the use of 802.1q protocol designed by IEEE. This one helps multiple VLANs to communicate. As we know, devices in the same VLAN communicate seamlessly, but devices in different VLANs do not communicate. Take note of that. Assume the headquarter gave out the base network of 192.168.10.0/24. From that base network, we note that it has 254 IP address. Sorry for that. It is class C private. As a network engineer who has been hired, design and implement a network considering the above requirements. Now that this is the proposal given by the Crystal Hotel, they want a branch network detailing these descriptions, and they have given a space through which you can divide and get the 5 departments as highlighted here. So let's move now to the real project. This is it. At the end of this project, I will append this file so that at least you can read for yourself and see. And if in any case you find something that you want more explanation, you can just find me at the contacts that shall be provided in the files that I'll attach. So let's move to Cisco Packet Tracer, cable the network, and achieve this. To minimize on time, I had already cabled the network, as you can see. As you can see, I had already cabled the network. So this is it. WLAN 10 administration, WLAN 20 sales, WLAN 30 that is finance, WLAN 40 security, WLAN 50 that is transport. And we've been told that sixth subnet should be used to link the two routers to other networks. This is it, that the sixth subnet should be used to link two serial linked routers to all networks. So that is it. So I will start configuring. As you can see, VLAN 10 is operating on the first subnet. It is called administration. VLAN 20, that is it. VLAN 10 is connected to this router through gig 01. Then this is gig 02, that is VLAN 20, then VLAN 30. VLAN 50 is connected through gig 00. So I'm going to create on this router basic router configuration. Just pay attention. Then I'll configure inter-VLAN routing on this. Then enable trunk ports. Trunk ports is this port. You see gig 00/2, the ports connecting to the port that is connecting to the router from the switch. This is gig 02, gig 02. These are trunk ports. They will allow communication to happen through this. Communication can packets from this particular network and go to this network through trunk ports decided by the router. So let's begin. Let's begin by VLAN 10. VLAN 10 is connected to gig 01. So that is the first step. We put no, enable. This is user mode. We move to privilege mode using the enable. So we set the clock set. Right now it is 48, 25th January 2026. Then config terminal. That command helps you to move to global configuration mode. Then from there we set the the user mode password, enable secret. So secret means our password is going to be hashed. All passwords shall be Cisco, just for this demo. And then from there banner. These are the basic configuration. On the router. And you remember that the symbol that you start with here, it should also be the same when it comes here, or else it won't work. So we start interface gigabit 01. We do not assign any IP on this interface because this interface is going to serve as the main interface. We'll just bring it up by using no shutdown. Give it description, connected to VLAN 10, then exit. Then you can use the up arrow to return to the previously typed command. Then we create the sub interface or the virtual interface, that is 10, using the VLAN ID. Then you see our interface is up here. So we describe the interface connected to administration, then encapsulation.1q. So 1Q, that is it. Then the VLAN ID, that is 10. That is 10. Then IP address. We give the first IP address from the same subnet. That is it. Exit. We move to sales department. It is connected to gig 02. Interface gig 02. No shutdown. Description main interface to VLAN 20 cells. That is it. From there, exit, then interface gig 02.20 encapsulation. It means encapsulation means that packets coming from this VLAN to the other VLAN, it will be encrypted. So the encapsulation .120.1Q, then 20, then IP address. What is the 10.32? So the first IP address, it will be 32. It will be this way, 33. Sorry, it will be 33. So no shutdown. Exit. Then I move to VLAN 50. Those are the 3 VLANs connected to main router. That is it. So VLAN 50 is connected to gigabit 0/0. So interface gig 0/0. No shutdown. Description connected to VLAN 50. VLAN 50. Then exit. Interface gig 0/0 dot. We create the sub interface 50. Then no shutdown. Then IP encapsulation dot 15. Then IP address 192.168.10.129.255.255.255.224. Then that is it. To save, let me show you ways to save. First, you can write you come back to privilege mode, then write memory, then it will save. Or you can use this command, copy, run, startup, config, still it will save. Let me change the host name. This is to give the host name. So Crystal branch router 1. So that is it. Then end, then write memory to save. So I have created, let me show running configuration, what I have configured. You see my password is hashed here. This is the name Cisco. This is the host name. Then from there, this is the description to the main interface. This is the sub interface for VLAN 50. This is the sub interface for VLAN 10. Then this is the configuration for sub interface for VLAN 20. That is the sales department. Then it's done. It is done. Let's be back here. Just a minute. As you can see, so this, I'm done with this. So let me enable trunk ports on these 3 switches. To enable trunk ports, we'll come on this administration switch, enable clock set then right now it is 14:55. 25th January 2026. Config terminal, enable secret Cisco hostname administration underscore switch 1, then interface gig0/2, then switch port mode trunk. We've got two types of modes for switch ports. We've got the access mode, then trunk port. Access mode is generally used to provide access for services on the network, but trunk port it allows communication to happen from multiple VLANs. It's like creates a conduit for data of the packets to pass through from one VLAN to the other. The trunk port is there to ensure that communication happens. Let's describe this. Trunk port for administration. Then we exit on this switch. Now you remember concerning this description that are 5 departments, and we've got 5 switches, 5 departments, then 5 switches here. It means each department has got a dedicated switch. When we say that a department like this administration has the entire switch and this switch has 24 ports, it means all switch ports on this switch are responsible to serve clients on this particular department. So I'm going to create a VLAN 10 on this switch. I have already enabled trunk port. This is gig0/2. So I'm going to create a VLAN on this switch so that I'm going to move all switch ports from native VLAN 1 up to VLAN 10. Good. Let's see. This is it. To create VLAN, you say VLAN, then VLAN ID 10, name of the VLAN, then administration, then we exit, then we assign VLAN ports, interface range, first Ethernet 0/1 up to 24. I'm just going 24 switch ports. So switch port mode access, switch port access LAN 10. Now let's see on this switch what has happened. The first time when I hovered on this switch, VLAN, this section had VLAN 1, but right now you can see from first Ethernet 01 up to first Ethernet 0/24, they are on VLAN 10, and you can find that first Ethernet 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13, they are up, and gigabit/2, they are up. Others are down because nothing connected on that. So that is it. So I have created a trunk port here, and then configured VLAN on this switch and assigned all switch ports to that VLAN. So the same I'm going to do on this department, at sales department, and others. So let me do the same on this gig02. It's going to be my trunk port. Then I create VLAN 20 and I assign switch ports. Let's proceed slowly. If you wish to ask a question, just put it in a comment on this video, then I'll help you. Clock speed, clock set 14:59, then 25 January. These are basic configurations that you should master, because enable secret Cisco, then banner, no intruders, allowed. Just that way, simple. Then we create now VLAN. Before we create VLAN, let's configure our trunk port, switch port, mod trunk, switch port, trunk, allowed VLAN. Before we create before we assign the trunk port, let's cancel this. Do this. Then VLAN 20 name cells, then exit interface, not gigabit, sorry, fast Ethernet 01 to 24, switch port. There is a problem here. The problem is that there is no range. When you want to mass assign interfaces to a VLAN, you use the word range. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Now exit, we can now assign our trunk port, switch port mode trunk. We specify the mode, then we allow which VLAN to participate in using this particular trunk. Switch port trunk allowed, we allow VLAN 20 to pass through that. Allowed VLAN 20. Description, cells, trunk port. That is it. Exit. Now let me show running config. You can see now all ports are on VLAN 20, port 1 to 24 VLAN 20, but when you come to gig 02, that is our trunk port. Then this is our banner that when you log on this device, it shows that no intruders allowed. That is it. Let me change the host name. Host name Crystal switch 2 and right. So I have configured. Let me check this port if it has affected. This is the shortest way to configure trunk port. You just select the port like this one. You come to this, we've got two access modes, then you choose trunk. Then this section, you have found that it has access to the LAN 10 here. It's okay. So that is it. So I am done with this section. So I'm coming back. Let me see this section. This one, transport. It is a LAN 10 under 192.168.10.128 network. So I'm going to go to create VLAN, assign switch ports, then assign the trunk port. Clock set. Now it is 15 05 25 January 2025. As you can see, show clock. So you see the time, it has already picked up. So config, enable secret Cisco banner, no intruders, just that. And then VLAN, let's create VLAN. Is it 50? Yes, 50. Yeah. Transport. Exit. Then from there, I'm going to assign switch ports to VLAN interface range, fast Ethernet 01 up to 24. The shortest way, unlike typing switch port mod access, switch port access VLAN 10, VLAN 50. VLAN 50, you can just say with one statement, switch port access VLAN 50. Let me interpret this statement. Switch port, you specify the ports on the switch. This is the mode, then this is the VLAN, then this is the VLAN number. That all switch ports are going to be in access mode and accessing VLAN 50. Description, transport. Guy, what am I typing? Transport VLAN exit. Then when you want to save and you are not in the privilege mode, this is what you should do. You use the word do, then write memory. You see, it is building configuration, meaning it's saving, or do copy run start, still it will save. So those are the shortcuts and tricks that you should also master. Let me configure this. Hostname crystal switch thing 3. The only mode where you cannot use the word do, it is in privilege mode, where I am right now. This is the privilege executive mode. So I'm done with this. Let me configure the shortest way. Configure trunk port on this switch. You can just come on config, pick your port. This is it. You see now it is in access mode. You put it in trunk. The moment you put it in trunk, it changes on the CLI, and this is it. It accesses that. Or if you want the long method, we can still do it. Interface gig 0/2 switch port mode trunk, then switch port trunk allowed LAN 50. That is it. Description, trunk port for transport department. That is it. And so that is it. I have finished configuring the administration department, this one, sales, then this one. The only aspect remaining is configuring the wireless LAN and the DHCP server, so that all these computers and the printer can get IP address automatically from the DHCP server. That is dynamic host configuration service. So let me assign, you see these two routers, these are two routers, 2911. Remember, one thing that I know, 2900 series, this is 2900 series routers by default do not have serial links. The only routers that have got serial links by default, they are miscellaneous. This one, miscellaneous, you can just find it here. These are the routers that have serial links. This one especially, special cases, that is used as a call manager for most of the times. So these routers I upgraded because by default it has only 3 interfaces. That is gig 00, gig 02, gig 01. But I just upgraded it to have this because that's the version that were to be used. So in this section is 010, then 0/20. You see this subnet, they say that our 6th subnet should be used in between the 2 serialized links. This is it, serialized routers. So this is it. It means you see that is, you see I'm following this. You see the 6th subnet. The 6th subnet should be used to link two serial linked routers to all networks. So this is it, what I have. This is the network 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this and this links to this. That is it. So let me assign the IP address. The first IP address will be 192.168.10.161.010. So you come to this router, enable, you put the password Cisco, then config terminal, then interface serial 0 1 1 no 0 IP address 192.168.10.161.255.255.255.224. No shutdown. That is used to bring up the interface. You see the interface has changed state to up. Then description, main serial link from router 1. So that is it. So that is it. I have finished with this router. Now let me go back to this 0/20, that is 162. We put there, no, enable clock set. It is 15 12 12 25 January 2026. Then configuration, configure terminal, then hostname Crystal router 2. That is it. Enable secret Cisco, then banner, no intruders, that is it. So I have configured the clock, I have secured my user mode password, then configure the banner. Now I'm going to assign IP address on the serial link serial interface. So interface gig, and now begin where I'm typing. Most all configuration happen under global configuration mode. So 0 2 0. It is saying invalid. You see what? Where is the problem? This is the problem. It should have been serial link. That is the problem. In networking, you should begin and know which command is this. Where should I type the command? What is the impact of the command to the iOS? So IP address 192.168.10.162. 255.255.255.224. No shutdown. Description connected to router 1 and right. So that is it. You remember the steps that I did here. So the same I'm going to do on this router, on these two networks. I'm going to configure inter-VLAN routing for security department, that is VLAN 40, for finance department, that is VLAN 30, under this subnet, also under this subnet. Then after there, I enable trunk ports on the two switches. Then I create VLANs, then enable trunk ports on the two switches. You see, step by step. Let me know where. Let me know. This one is connected to gig 00. This is gig 001. So let me start with 00. 00 is LAN 40 and it is .96. Config interface gig 00. Description connected to. I always suggest that description you give it in uppercase so that it is easy to know when you are showing the show run config command. So connected to security LAN 40. So no shutdown. Then we create the sub interface. To return to the previously configured command, you will use the up arrow key on the keyboard, then dot that one. We've created the virtual interface for that VLAN, then encapsulation that all packets be encrypted, .1q, then 40, then IP address 192.168.10.97, sorry, .97, 255.224, no shutdown, then exit, then copy, run, start. I told you this is when you got this error trying to show the domain then 255. It is trying to interpret this command. I have typed this command. So it is going, the DNS is trying to interpret. So on the keyboard, you press Ctrl plus Shift plus 6 to abort that. Or this command, you put this command to ensure that it does not disturb you. Now then, no IP domain, lookup. Once you effect that command, it won't happen again. So that is it. As we can see, check gig 00, under gig 00 there is 00.40. That is the virtual interface. So let me create the same on the finance department. Finance department is operating under 64. So config int gig 01, so no shutdown first, description connected to finance VLAN 30, and config interface gig 0/1.30. that is the virtual interface created before. You see, most of the configuration I'm starting with encapsulation, then .VLAN ID, then IP address. You cannot put the IP address note unless you've specified which protocol are you going to use, because there are two. We've got 802.1q and the other one. You can check what is the other one. IP address 1065. The first IP address is 65 from the subnet. Right. So that is it. As you can see, now let's hover that. You can now see that gig 00.40 is having 97, then that one is having that 1.65, then 0/2/0 it's having 162. This is this link. Then so I have finished configuring the inter-VLAN routing on the router. So let me go to this switch, create this VLAN, assign all switch ports to that VLAN, then enable the trunk port. Which VLAN is that? VLAN 40. Enable config VLAN 40, name security, exit. This is assigning switch ports, interface range, first Ethernet 01 to 24, switch port access LAN 30. You see, the moment I put them into line, it changes, because by default all these switch ports are in what we call native VLAN, untagged VLAN. So now I'm giving it should carry tagged data. So exit, then interface gig 0/2, that is switch port mode trunk, then switch port trunk allowed VLAN 30, and you see, config clock speed, clock set, sorry, means to speed 15, that one 25 January 2026, then config host name switch 4, and then write is to save, write memory is to save configuration. So I'm done on this. Let me do this. You see, all ports are on VLAN 1. That VLAN 1 is what we call native VLAN. Clock set, that is it. So let me start with creating VLAN 30, name finance, exit, interface. Let me assign this is the step to assign switch ports. Interface, first Ethernet 0 1 from port 1, that is 2, you put a hyphen, then 24. There is a problem. The problem is that I'm assigning the ports without the word range, so it can't work. Switch port mode access, you specify the mode through which these ports are going to work, then assign them to dedicate those VLANs to access, dedicate those switch ports to access a specific VLAN. So switch port access VLAN 30, and write show running config. Now let's see. All from port 1 has access to VLAN 30 up to 24, but gig 02, you see, gig 02, I haven't configured trunk here. So let me configure trunk and repeat the show running configuration. You will see wonders. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 30, switch port, so no shutdown, that's it has no effect, and write, then show running configuration. Now you can see Apache down there, you will get gig 02, you see, now it is here, it is in trunk port. Right, that is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. So the only remaining part is that we are going to configure the DHCP server for all the departments, and also configure the wireless part. Every department should be having a Wi-Fi to serve the Windows customers. So let's start here. This is the DNS. This is the DNS server. Then this is it. So let me just revisit because it is something that You see, this is the address. First of all, servers should have static IP addresses. So this is the gateway, then this is the DNS. So we come to the IP is assigned, we come to services, then we specify. You see, this is the first IP address serving as the gateway. This is the DNS. Then come to specify. This is the right subnet. Starts from 38 up to the last IP address. Then there are 22 IP address. Then we save. We turn our server on. So by doing such, I expect these clients to get IP address automatic. You see that one has gotten 18, but this is the process to enable a machine into a DHCP client. You see, it has gotten 18. Same applies to this. You see that is 14. That is 14. That is 19. You can test again. You see, so it has gotten 15. So now let's configure this access point, the wireless. I'm just doing it every once and for all from subnet. So we set the SSID on this access point, we give the key in this access point, then we'll just put the key and the SSID on the client, then it will connect. Now it is in administration. It should be having, you see, administration. Let's type administration, then this is the key. Then we put our access point on, then we come to this admin, we come to this config wireless. You see, administration, you put the same just as in the access point. That's when it will be connected. You remember the use of the, let me show you something in this particular wording. This one, there is a section here talked about that we secure our wireless network with the protocols. This point, each department is required to have a wireless use wireless security protocols. Wireless security protocols. Protocols is just bunch of rules. So these are the protocols. These are the protocols. Web, WPA2, WPA, those are protocols. But now we are using WPA version 2 with the shared key. So that is it. Those are the protocols. When we check, the access point has connected, and our tablet is having the IP address from the server. So it's done. Let me check on this section. So I'm done with the administration. Let me come to sales. I configure the DHCP server. We just verify, because these are things that, for example, in this section, you put it this way, you put it this way, that is 35, then the first IP address is 33, then DNS is 34. So that is it. Once you configure that way, you've assigned the static IP address, then you come to the server, you pick the services. Briefly, let me explain this. We've got services. It is the services that make computers to be servers, because they hold services. That is it. So HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, when configured, it will make that as HTTP server, probably web server, that is. So we've got DHCP, this one for IP version 4, sorry. DHCP v6, it shows that this is for version 6. TFTP, that makes the computer to be FTP server, same applies to this protocol. DNS, that is domain name system, translating domain to IP names to IP specific IP addresses. Syslog for keeping logs. Triple eight means authentication, accounting, authorization. That is it. Used for central management. NTP, it means network time protocol. That is if time servers. Email, very soon I'm going to do a lab on email, on how to configure an email server. FTP, file transfer protocol, keeping files. As you can see, these are the files kept here. IoT, I'll show you also in my upcoming videos. So that is it. So on this, we are just going to pick the DHCP, so that we specify our first the gateway, then the DNS, so that DNS will be configured to these clients automatically. There is no need of coming to the tablet, give DNS, printer, give DNS. No, we just do it on the server, then the server distributes as we've done here. We specify the start IP, then the subnet mask. You see, this is where the problem is. Then we do that way. Let me check this one. So it's okay. We can check by this. It has gotten 41.8. We can see, maybe just for sake of learning. That is it. You see, successfully. Just a minute. It is saying people, what might be the issue. So give it DHCP, then wait. Wait. Let us check everything. When you configure a device to get automatic configuration from the server and it's not getting, always check where the problem is on the server. Is it right? Now let's check. Let's check with this. Just a minute. Just a minute. That's 6. That's 6. We save this way. That's 3. Get that one. Then I start with 10. That's 6. Then that's the default subnet. You see, building a network is easy, but maintaining that network, that is where hell breaks loose. Just a minute. 17. Put this switch Cisco. To reboot the switch, we type the load. You see, all ports are done. All ports are shut. Once the switch finishes rebooting, the ports will just come up. Then we use this command to fast forward to ensure that let me check this. 34 is the EP for that. So let's concentrate here where the problem is emanating from. So it's okay. It's okay. You see, this is where the problem is. You see, this is not getting IP address automatic because in the server, you see this section, I configured the subnet mask to be 255.255.255.224. But when it comes to the IP address, I made a mistake by configuring it 255.255.2. It is not getting the network specified. So that was the error. That's where you should begin when troubleshooting networks. So right now we are good to go. Even it will get IP address automatic because I had already enabled them to be the DHCP client. So let's start with this. You see it, just a minute. You see, successfully gotten that 6, just as specified in the server. So that is it. In networks, there is no shortcut. It's either you know or you don't know. This is good because server should have static IP. You see it has gotten 39, so it's okay. WLAN 1020, it's okay. So this is the aspect of devices. This one, devices in all departments should communicate. I'm working on that. It's like the last aspect of ensuring that the network works. So let me configure this out. Finish here, please. Finish here to enable the wireless network. Sales, then sales department. These are the things. SSID. SSID in full is service set identifier. It used to help clients detect the network. So we come here, then click on the wireless interface, then put here. As you can see, it has connected. It has connected. The access point has connected to client. So that is it. We can ping from that is 10.38, then this is 10.14. So let's ping 14. It should work. Let me check. Ping 192.168.10.14. You see, it's working. It's replying. We are pinging 14. in the VLAN 10. We are in VLAN 20 and we are pinging back to VLAN 10. So that is the essence of inter-VLAN routing on this router. So when we are sending a packet from this computer to this computer, first of all, it comes to the switch, it goes to the router for interpretation, then the router decides where to forward the packet. It checks that the packet lies on the different VLAN. So it, by the use of 802.1q, it forwards the packet to the right destination. So that is it. Let's come here. Let's start with the server. The network is .10.128. The IP address I had already configured. You see it is speaking 130. This is it. Make sure here. That is in the sales department the problem was here. So I don't want the problem to recur again. So that is the first IP address, that's the gateway, then that is the DNS, then we save. As you can see, remember this server pool, it's not changed. The DHCP has a default pool, so it's either you edit it because you cannot remove it. That is it. So let's check if devices can get IP address automatic. It gets successfully. It's gotten 129, 137, 136, you see, 135, 140, 138. The access point has gotten nothing, but it has an IP. So the IP, like this link, access point is like a throw pass to the client. So let me check, configure it, give it transport, then it's on already. It's on. You see it has connected. The moment sometimes you find yourself on a Wi-Fi, before it connects, it undergoes a certain process. That process, it is ensuring that the authentication keys are matching the access point of the wireless router before you get connected. And the moment you see that connected, it means you've gotten an IP address. As you can see, the wireless based data rate, the strength of this Wi-Fi is 54 MPs per second, Mbps, and the wireless signal strength is 84. That's wow. The client has gotten a 141. That's good. Let's check 141 if it can ping a IP address in VLAN 10. We are still just working on the aspect of ensuring all clients communicate. I think it was 13. Let's check. You see, it's working. The first byte, it was timed out because of the distance, as you can see. Routing from this aspect to this, even though there is just one router in between, using that distance, so it's normal. Between now, I'm done with this segment. Let me go to this and finish with these two routers that I will enable the basic dynamic routing protocol called RIP, Routing Internet Protocol version 2. So let me work with this. Check the server first. It has the right IP. This is it. This is how I configure the server to minimize on time, because you see the DHCP server, this is the default gateway, then DNS, start with 100, then save, then my server ensure it's always turned on. So this IP address, so that is 100 is the first thing we can check. Maybe you can say that maybe I'm bypassing patrons, so it is really true. So this is it, 103, 104, 105. Then access point, we give it, we configure it. Security, we give it the security, that is it. We turn it on. The moment we turn on, it should connect, because you can check configuration, it has an IP, wireless, you see security as a service set identifier, and then pre-shared key. So that is it. So as you can see, this is also connected. Let's check. Finance department. It means the client should marry the parameters configured to the access point, not unless otherwise, but communication cannot happen if such rule is not respected or achieved. So that is it. It works. So meaning our DHCP server here is working. As you can see, it is having 10.66, gateway is .65, DNS is .67. So clients 73 within the subnet, 72, 74, then this is 70 what? 70. Good. So all networks, this can communicate with this, can communicate with this, can communicate with this, can communicate with this. And let me prove. So there is one aspect that has remained to ensure now seamless communication in this network. Between this serial link, we are going to allow dynamic routing using a basic routing, dynamic routing protocol called RIP. You can read about that, or you can still put your eye on this channel, wait the time I'll reach on the dynamic configuration protocols, you will see. So let me configure these two routers to have the dynamic routing, that is Cisco row. Enable first, then Cisco configuration terminal. Always we do configuration in the global configuration mode, then RIP, then you see it's okay. Then we specify the network. But now that we were given this base network, just a minute, we were given this base network from the IT, from the HQ, we are going to advertise this network because it is this from which we divided it and got 5 departments. So there is no need of advertising the 5 individual departments. We are going to just to advertise this one only. So this is it. Where that router. This is it. So 10.0, no auto summary. When this command, it means we are not going to have auto summarization. You can just check, that is it, and write. So we do the same on this router. Enable Cisco configuration terminal, then router, RIP, network, then 192.168.10.0, no auto summary, and then write. That is it. So I have finished the network. This is a hotel network system. You can see it's not a big thing. It's just simple when you follow the procedure, and our procedure is here. This is the proposal. So as a network engineer, prepare to be given proposals from clients. decipher the proposal, get to know what it entails or what it needs, then now provide a network solution to what they require. So this is it. Now the last part is to verify communication. I want to ping from this tablet. It is having 192.168.10.101. I want to ping it to this tablet. So this is it. Just a minute. This tablet, it has 10.1. So this is the source. Then I ping to the destination. As you can see, just ping 192.168.10.41. Now check. There are chances that the first byte might time out due to distance, but the subsequent ones will be delivered. So you see, it has not communicated. Now let's troubleshoot that. What might be the issue? What might be the issue? Or let me use this. Then ping 192.168.10.101. You see, it's saying host unreachable. Okay. Host unreachable. One oh four 14. So from security departments, pin 192.168.10. Let's cancel and do this. Here, as you can see, this router check show running configuration. That is it. Yes. Ping 192.168.10.101. So when you ping using the router, it will show you the timeout, but the command prompt won't. Just a minute. Take PDU, packet protocol unit, then says it failed, so 101. Then this is 67. Let's try to ping in the same departments. Why is it saying 67? So we did this. You can come and do this. do this, then specify this is 96, this is 64, then this is 160. So '96, '64, just a minute, we do this. Network, '64, '96, 160, the one connecting to 64 to the finance, 96 to the security, no auto summary, then write. Now let me check this. It should work right now. So concerning from this particular, let's start from this PC, then ping, just a minute, 98, it should work by now. Ping 192.168.10.98. Yes, it's working. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.